As I was looking through the comprehensive land use plan, and there's a number of maps in the comprehensive plan here, and there's a number of maps in this plan, and I was trying to visualize how does one overlay impact the next overlay, and it was very difficult to do that. So we were able to build this map, and it's very beneficial. It's very helpful because for me particularly, using this as a visual tool to lay each layer over the other layer and see how it impacts the underlying land. And I'm going to go through this rather quickly. However, I and others here on the panel will stay around afterwards to answer questions if your questions have not been answered through the program. What this shows here are the designated communities: Bloomington, Steinsville, Ellisville, Smithville, and Harrisburg. This is where the growth is proposed to take place. The plan very clearly states that rural will remain rural and urban will remain urban. Therefore, all future growth will be directed towards these areas, and that's very important, particularly when you look at the area around Bloomington, which is referred to as the Bloomington urbanizing area. That is where the majority of growth will take place. But I want to highlight a few things as I go further on this. The rural residential is a residential area that I want you to look at this. It says, rural property shall not be subdivided to allow urban densities. The presumed future use of rural property shall be the current vested use, which basically means that there will be very little change within that area. Farm and forest. And as you can see, this area begins to cover the county rather quickly. I'm not going to read all this, but basically what it says, all residents and visitors benefit from these private holdings. To maintain this benefit, this plan minimizes or eliminates substantial changes. Again, there will be very little changes in the rural area. And then you add the public open space, which is basically the state and federal forest, and certainly we want to preserve that, but there will be little to no change in those areas whatsoever. But this is where it gets very interesting. And I know many of you might right now be thinking, well, my property is in a particular area, how is this going to impact me? I've already mentioned that very little change will take place. The document identifies vulnerable land that shall not be disturbed to accommodate future growth and development. Let me repeat that, shall not be disturbed. Look how much of an area vulnerable land covers in Monroe County. Endangered species habitat shall be reserved and remain undeveloped and undisturbed. Again, will not change. Vacant slopes greater than 15%. 6.2 of the plan prohibits the development of residential and accessory structures on slopes of 15% or greater throughout the county. As you can see, that when you add all of those overlays up, that says prevent or prohibit, will not allow, shall not change, it's more than 60% of Monroe County. It's a tremendous amount of land. Then I look at it from the perspective of where will employment opportunities come from? Well, again, and I'm going to highlight this a few times so you can see the blue area, this is where the plan drives the development. So major employers will be located in this area. But when I remove all the overlays that I've already talked about, what is left? What is in red? So when I look at the future and where are we going to be able to attract future development for employers, this is the area that the plan says that they are going to be directed. But you'll see there's just not very much land there whenever you remove the overlays. I will go back to the designated communities. Again, you look at Bloomington urbanizing area. In this area, as you read the plan, you would think, well, that's a lot of land, that's a lot of property. Surely we can accommodate future employment opportunities there. But then when you look at where the sewer is located and you remove the vulnerable land areas, that's what is remaining. And that's very concerning to me because we do not have a plan for the Bloomington urbanizing area at this time. At the commissioners meeting, Larry Wilson, plan director, said that they were going to develop a plan, but this current plan is absent from that. And I believe that we should have that plan now with this plan and not in years to come because I'm concerned about the unintended consequences of this plan.